because you came up on a list.
Yeah.
Because truthfully, that is the reason they came up on a list. But what list? How did I get on the list? What do these numbers mean? And so OSHA every year decides who they will target for inspection. And in Minnesota, they would always give out the new lists in March. And some years it was based on experience modification rates. And if you had over a particular number, you'd be put on a list. Some years it was based on BLS data related to type of industry. And, the industries that were seeing the greatest injuries, you'd be put on a list.
And that's from the DART rates, meaning the days away restricted transfer rates. If you're higher over a certain percentage, then you're on that list.
Yeah. And so some years it was, we're going to focus on public sector employers and we're going to take every 10th one on the list, something like that. And so every year there was a different decision made within the agency as to which employers would be targeted for inspection, but it was always based on data that meant something. It wasn't randomized.
Yeah.
And so I would spend time every year when the list would come out and ask, okay, what is it this year? How did you get to this? So that when those employers, when I met them and they go, how did I get on a list? Why are you here? You say you have probable cause. What does that mean? And so part of my de-escalation technique was to explain that and to say, this is where this came from. This is why I'm here. Unless of course it was a complaint, then that was obvious probable cause, or if it was a death, or a serious injury. That kind of thing. Those are more obvious reasons for probable cause. But I was really careful to do that as a way to respect the employer and explain, this is why I'm here today. It's not because I drove by and I looked at a sign I didn't like on your building, or I can't do that.
Yeah. And
that kind of.
For my audience, a lot of them, they gather some really good information there, because especially if you say one of your services is a mock OSHA audit, just kind of figuring out just a nice way to just make a grid, if you will, macro view versus micro view, and then working your way through the process, talking to people and doing as if you're one of the inspectors. So that was a great tip for everybody there who has that as one of their services.